One of the missteps that we can take with regard to our attitude and relationship to the ego is treating it something like an unwelcome guest. And this attitude is not surprising when we consider what so many spiritual teachings seem to be telling us, that the ego is this entity inside us that needs to be controlled or reined in, or at least seen for what it is. And more lately, what I've been seeing in the so-called non-duality circles, in these discussions, well, there's almost always it seems like there's almost always a universal attitude of indifference. And usually they'll call the ego the me, at least that's what most of the people that I have seen refer to it as. To treat the ego indifferently is a mistake, and that is because the ego is a piece of who you are, and should no less be treated with love and compassion and respect. And though it's very limited, in some ways, it's naive, it's misguided sometimes. We should treat it the same way that a loving parent should treat their children. So the ego is a companion, not an unwelcome guest, or someone you should treat with indifference. The ego is a small piece of a larger painting. It's a part of who you are. And it changes and grows with you. The interesting thing is when we resist the ego, it's not if this part of our personality is displaying unwanted characteristics, it's not resisting it that brings growth and transformation. The ego is a smaller part of our expanded identity. And it's treating it with love and care that creates transformation. All that's needed is integration. It's not that it needs to be changed or resisted. It's integration. The me only sees this much, but when you integrate it with the expanded self, then it is allowed to see as you do.